This is a nerve-wracking time for districts. They're normally budgeting right now for their next year and finishing their budgets actually for next year. So our state drives virtually all the money out to our school districts by formula. There's some competitive grants and a few things, but almost all of it goes out by formula. And there's really three kinds. There's state money, which is like 70% of all the money districts get. There's federal money, that's down to 7 or 8% of what districts get on average. And then the rest is local levies and local revenue, which is totally up to local voters, right? They run levies every 1, 2, 3, 4 years. The current conversation is that the money for this school year is going to be fine. There'll be no cuts this year. Next school year's budget's actually already set by the legislature. But if they come back on a special session, then there's nervousness about them reducing a few things. What's really scary for districts is if their levy cycle's up. If they're due to go back to voters for a levy, when you have a 20% unemployment rate and lots of people nervous about the economy, will they still support those local property taxes? I think that's probably the biggest concern in the short term. There's a little federal emergency money coming to help with all these COVID costs, but it's like 1.3% of our budget equivalent. It's a couple $100 million, but we normally spend $15 billion a year. So that's not going to be a salvation, but it'll help districts who have spent a little money reacting and responding to this. And then I guess the last thing I'd say about budgets is if you just run a face-to-face model, we know how to do that. And now we're getting better at an online model. If the health requirements cause us to do both, that's going to be really challenging. If students get to come to school every day for part of a day or every other day, and you need all your regular teachers to be in the school, but then students need a lot more support online, we don't see anything in budgets that are going to allow us to hire a bunch more staff. And so we're all kind of waiting for the Department of Health to say to us, you don't get to have 30 students in classes next year, it's 15 or 18. And if that happens, that's going to be a really, really hard thing to plan for. It's going to mean less instructional hours for most students.